Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Guide Dental. This is Dr. Saib Singh. So the subject for today's video is going to be orthodontics and dentofacial orthopedics. This subject is being discussed in three parts. This is the first part or the first video for the subject. So starting and whatever topics I'll be mentioning in the video are also mentioned in my blog by the name of Guide Dental, the link for which is given in the description. So starting with the first topic, that is introduction to orthodontics. Here you need to know definition of orthodontics by Noyes, Noyes, Jackson's triad, that is functional efficiency, structural imbalance and aesthetic harmony in brief for a short note. Now, some important contributions of various scientists or various doctors to orthodontics. Lee Foulon was the one who coined the term orthodontics. Dewey was the one who added the term dentofacial orthopedics. Pierre Fauchard is the father of modern dentistry. Norman W. Kingsley perfected a gold obturator for cleft palate treatment. Calvin S. Case is the advocate of extraction and orthodontics. Edward Angle is the father of modern orthodontics and believer or advocate of non-expansion. Broadbent and Hofra are associated with cephalometric radiology. Andrews gave the first pre-adjusted edgewise appliance. Viggo Anderson gave activator. Bolter gave bionator. Pierre Robin gave monoblock appliance for glossoptosis. Bjork was associated with longitudinal implant studies. Clark is associated with twin block appliance. Fujita and Kurz are associated with lingual orthodontics. The next chapter is growth and development. Here you need to know the definitions of growth and development, any two definitions in each. Cephalocaudal gradient of growth, any 2 to 3 points for a short note. Scammon growth curve and growth spurts, again short notes. Scammon's growth curve, the graph is very important. In measurement of growth, technique, advantages and disadvantages of craniometry, anthropometry, cephalometric radiology, vital staining, implant radiography and radioisotopes. So in these topics you need to study the technique, advantages and disadvantages. Next topic is theories of growth. Here you need to know classification, that is major and minor theories. Genetic theory, only just know the principle or the concept. Sutural dominance theory, you need to know the difference between growth sites and growth centers and the drawbacks of the theory. In cartilaginous theory, you need to know the cartilaginous sites for maxilla and mandible. Experimental evidence mentioned the one is related to mid-phase development of rats and rabbits and the drawbacks of the cartilaginous theory. In functional matrix theory is very important, most commonly asked in a long question. So here you need to know the definition, classification of functional cranial components in detail and the clinical applications of the theory. In servo system theory, you just need to know about the cybernetic concept. Neurotrophism has to be done in detail. Compromise theory, only the names of 5 factors given by Van Limburg. And Enlow's expanding V principle, only the concept of the principle with the diagram of mandible is more important. Next is osteogenesis. Here you need to know the developmental classification of craniofacial complex, that is neurocranium and viscerocranium. Synchondrosis, the ossification centers and cranial base flexure, that is the mechanism and the values. Prenatal and postnatal development of maxilla in detail with diagrams for a long note, and you can take help from embryology first year. Embryology in your anatomy first year. There is an MCQ or a Viva question which can be commonly asked, that is maxilla always grows in a downward and forward direction. The next chapter is anchorage in orthodontics. Here you need to know definition of anchorage according to Graeber, classification according to Moyers and according to Nanda, these two classifications. Factors affecting anchorage in detail. Anchorage loss, only the names of factors causing anchorage loss in sagittal, vertical and transverse plane, only the names of the factors, that's it. And Baker's anchorage and absolute anchorage, this has to be done in detail with diagrams if possible. The next chapter is biomechanics of tooth development. Here you need to know the concepts of center of mass, center of gravity, center of resistance, moment of force and center of rotation. You need to know the center of resistance in various situations. Example, in single-rooted teeth, in multi-rooted teeth, maxilla, etc. Example, for a multi-rooted tooth, the center of resistance is 1 to 2 mm apical to the furcation area. Types of tooth movement, the classification, and tipping, rotation, and translation, etc. all have to be done in detail. Now, one couple appliance or statically determinate systems and two couple appliance or statically indeterminate systems, the definition and mechanism of action of cantilever spring and auxiliary intrusion or extrusion arches in one couple appliances. This has to be studied just for your own understanding. Don't go in detail. This will not be asked in your exams as such, but for understanding further concepts in this chapter, these two mechanisms are important. But they can be asked viva. That is the important concept in the first order, second order, and third order bends. You need to know the concept and definition. This is again for viva as well as short notes. The next chapter is biology of tooth movement. First, you need to know Wolff's law that was given in 1892. Types of orthodontic forces in detail with graphs along with any one example in each kind of force. But the graph is very important for types of orthodontic forces. Phases of tooth movement in detail along with graphs and the concepts of frontal and undermining resorption or hyalinization. Some MCQs that could be asked. First indication of hyalinization is pycnosis. Pycnosis you might have studied in your general pathology second year. What is pycnosis? And Carl Sandsetz was the first who described hyalinization. In theories of tooth movement, it might come as a short note. You should know names of all the theories, but the theories that are to be studied in detail are pressure tension theory given by Schwartz, blood flow theory by Bean, and bone bending or piezoelectric theory given by Farrar. The next chapter is skeletal maturity indicators. You need to know about hand wrist radiographs, that is the names of the methods which are used in hand wrist radiographs, and Fishman's skeletal maturity indicators in detail. In SMI or skeletal maturity indicators using cervical vertebrae, you need to know about the 6 stages given by Hassel and Farman in detail. The next chapter is cephalometrics. Here you need to know the definition of anatomical and constructed landmarks in a cephalogram. Hard tissue landmarks, you should just know the definitions of this, what it is. You should just know the basic concept. No need to go in detail. A point, B point, anterior nasal spine, articular, basion, bolton, condylon, gnathion, gonion, infradental, menton, nasion, orbital, pogonion, porion, posterior nasal spine, and sella. Just know 1 or 2 line definition, what it is, that's it. In lines and planes of lateral cephalometrics, you should know about the Broadbent line, SN plane, Frankfurt's horizontal plane, palatal plane, mandibular plane, and occlusal plane. Analysis in cephalometrics, 3 analyses are important: Tweed's analysis, Stevens analysis, and Witt's appraisal, these 3. An MCQ or a short note or a viva, you can say that aesthetic line or E plane is the one joining nose and chin, and the approximate value is -2 millimeters. Next chapter is removable orthodontic appliances. You need to know general indications, contraindications, advantages and disadvantages of removable orthodontic appliances. It is better if you do it in the form of a comparative table with fixed appliances. So you will remember it also, and it will be easy for you to reproduce in your exams. Classification of components of removable appliances, and the removable appliances that are taught to you in postings, 3rd and 4th year postings, those you have to do. So, but the most frequently asked in your theory exams are C-clasp, Jackson's or full clasp, Adams clasp, labial bow, canine retractors, and anterior bite plane. The next chapter is fixed orthodontic appliances. You need to know the general advantages, disadvantages, indications, and contraindications of fixed appliances. Once again, this can be done in the form of a comparative table with removable orthodontic appliances. So you do that table, you know the basic features of both removable as well as fixed appliances. Then the classification of components of fixed appliances, the same as removable appliances. Classification and indications of elastics, that is a special topic that's important in fixed orthodontics or fixed orthodontic appliances. Arch wire, ligature wire, brackets and bands, only the definition and the uses. Begg appliance and technique has to be done in detail. Begg, B-E-G-G. So thank you so much for watching the video. This was the end for the first part of orthodontics. If you found this video to be useful, please like, share and subscribe to my channel Guide Dental for further updates. Thank you so much.